Fala pessoal, de boa, continuando a nossa gameplay do Starfield, de onde paramos. No último vídeo a gente começou ali as missões aqui, né, da UC. A gente fez o alistamento e a sua prova também. E agora a gente foi mandado ali para a nossa primeira missão, então vamos lá.
Bullet for leeches, get it fixed up and let her know we'll have it ready as soon as we can.
Yes, sir.
Ah, you are new probationary then? Crew Chief Herat, pleasure to be working with you.
It's my job to make sure all you rocket jockeys are ready for anything that comes at you up there. Now, Manifest says we're fitting you out with one comms repair suite.
In addition to the standard issue welcome kit all probationary pilots get for their first mission. Med packs, some small arms, couple spare ship parts, all the essentials in case of any surprises up there.
My people will have everything on your ship before you lift off. Won't even know they were there. So, paying a visit to the people of scenic Tau Ceti 2. Nice easy one for your first job. Just keep your head on swivel and you'll come home safe. Any questions before you head out?
Nothing too dangerous, if that's your concern. The repair suite's mostly just wiring and circuit boards. The welcome kit has some goodies in there I wouldn't leave sitting around when company comes to visit. But it's nothing some proper storage can't make safe.
I honestly didn't realize it had people living on it until we got your recorder.
Report they gave us seemed clean, no known hostile outposts. But I wouldn't say that's permission to let your guard down. Just watch out for wildlife and pirates. Keep those med packs handy and you'll be fine.
Then I won't keep you.
Make us look good out there, recruit.
Beleza, né? Então a gente vai fazer uma dobra para esse sistema aqui, né? Tau 7. E bom, chegando no planeta a gente descobre ele, recebe experiência. Eu não vou fazer a inspeção completa dele, tá? Porque a gente está em missão e iríamos perder muito tempo. Então quando eu for vir aqui para esse sistema, a gente faz tudo direitinho aí conforme eu estava fazendo também, certo? Chegando aqui na localização, bora lá, né, mano? Ir pro local ali da missão, que já está bem aqui do lado.
An abandoned meat packing facility built on the fringes of the settled systems. I wonder what happened here.
É, rapaz, vamos indo aqui. Tem uma nave aqui. Tá. Será que dá pra entrar nela? Eita, enroscada que o jogo deu ali. Tá, porra. Aí tá bom. Pelo menos não fechou, né? Tá vivo, tá vivo. Se mantém capengando. Bom, não dá pra entrar, tranquilo, é só cenário mesmo. Rapaz, eu acho que deu merda aqui, hein? Eu pensei que ia ser uma missão fácil. Não é uma missão fácil não, deu foi merda aqui. Aí, olha, ixi. Ó, arranhado no chão. Sangue bagarai. Ih, rapaz. Alguma coisa de errado deu aqui, mano. Certeza. Mano. Olha que legal. Aí sim, hein? Uma receita nova ali, tranquilo. Já tem um computador ali também, pra gente dar uma olhadinha com calma. Aproveitando que eu tô aqui, claramente eu vou dar uma olhada na área inteira ali direitinho e explorar ela aqui, né? Porque faz parte da missão. Bom, aqui a gente tem aí algumas explicações, né? Informações dessa área aqui e do que acontecia. Então, como padrão, eu sempre vou ir deixando pra vocês aí, né, na tela por um tempinho. Então quem quiser dar uma lida com calma, saber da história aqui, né, e claro, das pesquisas também dessa área, bom, só ir pausando o vídeo aí, beleza? Beleza, né? Bora lá então. Continuar seguindo em frente aqui, né? Dando uma olhada em tudo. Agora é a parte de cima ali. A única coisa que a gente consegue identificar aqui é que, mano, o que aconteceu aqui foi feio, velho. Isso é um fato inegável, mano. Caramba. Ah, é lá pra frente ainda. É, o elevador aqui foi pro caramba. É. Não tem muito o que fazer, né? Bom, bora descer. Tá, carai. Ih, rapaz, tô falando que vai dar merda. Que pegou fogo, é nave destruída. Mano, deu bosta aqui, é com certeza.
Either I got hit harder than I thought, or you've got some incredible timing. Regardless, I think it knows you're here. I'll unlock the door. Second floor, main building. But be quiet.
I don't know who that is, but I have a feeling she has our best interests in mind. We should do what she suggests.
Beleza, a gente precisa ir até onde tá a mina ali, né? Então, bora lá entrar na sala dela ali, conversar e continuar e tentar entender o que aconteceu aqui dentro dessa área, porque, né? Pelo jeito, o buraco é muito mais embaixo do que a gente imaginava.
So what do we got here? Too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. You see on patrol, maybe? Yeah, make my day if you said you were a shock trooper out for a stroll. Oh, I've been better. But I think bleeding out is at least off the table. What I really need, though, is someone who knows their way around a weapon. So, if you wanted to tell me, I'm heavy infantry and I've come to bring you the gift of ordnance, I wouldn't mind in the least. Vanguard, huh? Yeah, I expect they didn't. I'm Hadrian. I was a researcher with the UC. I came here on a rumor of a... Well, I expect you saw the results on your way in. What's left of the settlers? The work of Oxysio Machina. A terramorph. One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with. And this one, well, it's something of an anomaly. Possibly a worrying one.
I can't believe that a terramorph did all this damage. I mean, I've heard the stories, but to see the decimation firsthand.
I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone. Terramorphs have a unique growth cycle. They're usually only found on worlds that have been long colonized by humanity. But Tau said he's too young to have one. Yet here it is. I came looking for an explanation and found all this.
Other than a remorseless killing machine.
Among apex predators, they're the pinnacle. Resilient, agile, smart, and their mental prowess only increases with age. Some can even dominate the minds of weaker species, keeping them as pets, livestock, or toys. They're creatures without peer. I sure could. Because to confirm my suspicions about this creature, I'm gonna need a tissue sample from it. And to get that, I need its corpse. But there is a way we can give ourselves an edge against this thing. The plant's security system. The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. And as I found out, that's not a one-person job. But if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can get things back online. See if the settlers left us any other tools. Admin access is centralized to the terminal in this room. Nothing's coming back online if I'm not here. But even if that weren't the case, I'd likely be more of a liability out there than a help right now. It's the building in the middle of the facility. The terminal in there should allow you to grant me access to the system as a whole. Then we can see about getting things back online. The settlers outfitted most of the buildings with turrets at some point. Not sure how many are still operable, but at least a few appeared to be in fighting shape. There were also some sensors scattered around the facility that I didn't recognize. But those are honestly all just educated guesses until we get the connection reset. Good. Once I see the connection reset, I'll get things underway on my end. Take care of yourself out there. And make sure you leave enough of that thing for us to get a sample.
Beleza, né? Então, a gente já tem o próximo objetivo ali, que praticamente é reiniciar lá a parte da energia aqui da área, porque foi tudo pra casa do caramba, né? E a gente entendeu também que teve um ataque de terror morfo aqui, certo? E isso é um problema. Bom, não sei dizer se ele já tá por aí em algum lugar, mas vamos pro objetivo aqui, né? Depois que estiver perto do final da missão, aí com certeza eu dou uma geralzinha, uma olhada ao redor com mais calma ali, né? Porque aí eu garanto que não vai ter mais inimigo. Bom, temos aqui o sistema de conexão, blá blá blá, beleza. Vamos reiniciar as coisas aqui também, certo? Eu vou deixar um pouquinho na tela aí para quem quiser dar uma lida com calma nas coisas daqui, tá? É só ir pausando o vídeo aí.
Connection restored. I'll make this quick. Plant's turrets took a beating, but I should be able to get you a couple of kill lanes. Just get the thing to chase you down the alleys between the buildings, and you'll lead it right into a crossfire. Hello. I wish I'd found this earlier. Those sensors around the facility? Part of a livestock tracking system. Should let you keep tabs on how close the terramorph is. But it's not connected to this network. There should be a terminal in the adjoining room. Tune it to 183.5.
Beleza. Então, a gente precisa ajustar ali a parte do rastreamento, pelo menos para saber a localização do inimigo ali, né, mano? Deixar um pouquinho mais na tela aí também. Mais informações dessa área aqui. E bora lá, né? É, se tem mais frequência ali, quer dizer que tinha mais bicho aqui, mano.
Tracker's reading green. What's that sound?
The security lockdown is active.
Shit. Stop. Stop whatever you're doing and get in cover. It's on the move. Look, I wouldn't engage directly if you can avoid it. The kill lanes. They're set up but need power. There's breakers on each of the buildings you can throw to get them live. Once they're online, lead the terramorph towards the lights and watch the fireworks. Give it hell, Vanguard.
É aquilo, nessa parte aqui, cara, temos opções. Ou tu pode ir pro pau logo com ele, tá? Só que eu tô jogando no muito difícil, que é a última dificuldade do game, vai demorar pra morrer. Então o que que eu vou fazer? Cara, vamos energizar os bagulho aqui. Sem dó nem piedade, não tem essa não. E bora. Ó, já deu as caras já. Vamos correr, não tem essa não. Ficar perdendo tanto tempo, que aí é pior, tá ligado? Nossa, ele veio atrás de mim. Aí, ó. Aí, ali, ó. Socorrer. Vai, filho. Filha da mãe. Deixa eu energizar o outro bagulho aqui. Aí ele vai vir pra cá. Na hora que ele vir pra cá, fi. Olha lá, ó. É tiro pra cacete. De pistolinha também é difícil, né, campeão? Vamos. Dá na cara dele, ele vai ficar atordoado, tá? Ó. Já era. É isso aí.
It's a miracle we were able to bring that thing down. At least we avenged the deaths of the colony.
Mano, a música dele é muito boa. Cê é louco. Bom, vamos fazer o seguinte. Vou dar uma geralzinha na área, tá? Caminhar um pouquinho, dar uma exploradinha, ver o que que a gente tem aqui também, certo? Pra levar embora. Já tô aqui mesmo, né? Não tem por que também ficar deixando tudo pro lado ali.
From the inside is starting to make me feel like I should switch to becoming a vegetarian.
E é isso aí. Beleza, e essa parte aqui é aquele momento que a gente vai fazer a exploração, pegar os itens, tá? Levar embora. Claramente eu vou ir dando alguns cortes aqui, porque é o seguinte, é exploração, mano. E os itens que vai aparecer pra mim, não necessariamente vai aparecer pra você, tá? Então, porque isso aqui vai ter variação de nível, de dificuldade, mano, uma infinidade de coisa, tá? Então, basicamente, pode vir itens bem melhores que os que estão aparecendo aqui na gameplay. Pode vir itens piores pra vocês também, tá? É aleatório, então, mano, só se tiver algum item que é único e específico, que aí aquele item sim vai ser garantido pra você. Caso contrário, mano, de resto é você rezar muito pra vir coisa boa aí. Mas vamos lá, continuando a história.
Tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or... Wait.
You did it, didn't you? Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph!
Oh, yeah. Taken care of. No big deal. You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you? Not doing this one out of the goodness of your heart, huh? I'll give you what I can. You certainly deserve it. Forewarning, though, I'm not exactly New Atlantis royalty. A lot of life gets recorded in our cells. Like, for example, if this terramorph's cells have certain radiation or chemical exposures, it could point to it having been transported on a ship. Then, we could start getting some answers about this thing. So, did you manage to nab one? All right. I spotted a microscope downstairs. Let's see if we can't get to the bottom of this.
Beleza, né? Então agora a gente vai acompanhar ela ali pra fazer aquela análise da amostra, tá? Vamos dar uma olhadinha aqui também só nesse computador do administrador, se tiver alguma informação ou registro, eu vou deixar aí pra vocês um pouquinho na tela. Quem quiser dar uma lida como padrão, só ir pausando o vídeo e a gente segue ali com a história do game.
Older model. Alright, let's see what you can do. Running basic diagnostics? Nothing. Maybe a flag scan? No. Spectrograph. Damn. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs? They're different. To our knowledge, no one's ever spread them intentionally. Yet somehow, they follow us. So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100 years later, terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous, but at least predictable. Tau Ceti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one. Well, they're not exactly buying tickets and flying coach. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg or seed that's able to evade our detection. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into a terramorph without anyone noticing is a question no one's ever found an answer to. And it's why what's happened here could be real bad news for the rest of human civilization. They have. They even took down an entire city once. A place called Londinian had to be quarantined due to a massive outbreak during the Colony War. It's the only known loss of that scale, but it's the reason why any change in our relationship with these creatures needs to be taken very seriously. You're right. We just need more information first. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the galaxy. Seems a natural place to start looking, if I can figure how to access it. But we also need to get this sample properly analyzed, get confirmation on just how concerned we should be. Luckily, I think I know just the person to help with the sample. What would you say to delivering this to him for me? I'd do it myself, but I need to call in some favors. See if I can't get access to that terramorph data. Plus, maybe just pop by a hospital for a little bit. Clear it with your commander first if you have to. You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sinan is worried there could be more attacks on the horizon. They should recognize the name. I was. Long time ago. Family tradition. But I know some of the folks from my old unit moved into the Vanguard. A couple even owe me favors. If I'm lucky, your commander is one of them. Oh, you don't understand what a weight off my shoulders that is. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. He'll know what that means. I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. Bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival there. And here, it's not exactly a bounty, but you certainly deserve them. Should cover the cost to fuel to Mars, at least. Now please, go check in with your commander. We need to know what we're dealing with.
Beleza, precisamos voltar então para Nova Atlântida e conversar lá com o nosso comandante.
Look who's back. All set with that probationary mission? We can do your debrief and formally welcome you into the Vanguard whenever you're ready.
A terror? What? How did you walk away with the terramorph tissue sample running comms repairs? What happened to the settlers?
A gene tag? Let me see that. Sanan. I know that name. Let me check the database. Huh. A lot of this data's been classified. Here we go. Service record. Wow. That's a lot of commendations. Seems like she served with distinction as co-head of a UC Xenoweapons division. Faced tribunal at the end of the Colony War. And was dismissed from duty. Guess that's why I'd heard the name before. If she's former Xeno warfare, though, well, we can at least be sure she knows her aliens. Notation says that Sanan already faced punishment for her actions during the war. Dismissal from the UC military. And her sending you to me first makes me think she's actually trying to do this above board. Considering her history, reaching out to the UC probably wasn't the easiest decision, which means that must be a pretty important sample. In the run-up to the Colony War, the UC started a program with a singular goal. Find the deadliest, most terrifying aliens in the galaxy, and have them fight on the side of the UC. Never saw any of the deployments myself, but the program was clearly enough of a success that when the war came to an end 20 years ago, both sides agreed to have the practice banned, at which point, I presume, this tribunal decided to cut Sanan loose. Certainly seems that way. Did your survivor, Hadrian, did she mention why she thinks this sample's so special? She thinks there could be more of these? This has been one of the more surprising debriefs I've ever been a part of. I did actually have another mission lined up for you, supporting UC system defense against the Crimson Fleet. But now I guess you have two options on how to proceed. Head to the UC Vigilance and help out SysDef, or deliver that sample. I'll make sure you've got the proper clearances for either path. Consider these your first official orders. And here, so everyone knows you're working with the Vanguard. Welcome to the Navy, Captain. Vanguard's also got some custom ship modifications. You'll be cleared for access to them next time you're down at the spaceport. Talk to ship services. Now, if there wasn't anything else, I suggest you move out.
E é isso aí. Completamos então essa nossa primeira missão, certo? E dessa vez a gente vai ter ali duas missões liberadas para fazer, tá? Uma delas ali, claramente, é a continuação aqui dessa história envolvendo os Terrormorpho, que é por onde eu vou continuar a nossa gameplay primeiro, tá? E a gente também tem Operação Secreta, tá? Da UC, que aí eu não sei se eu vou fazer depois já, ou se eu faço mais tarde, aí eu decido ali, tá? Mas por enquanto, vamos lá então para a cidade de Sidonia.
Building Sidonia completely underground was a clever way of keeping the city shielded from the harsh Martian landscape.
Beleza, chegando na cidade a gente tem o objetivo ali marcado, então mano, é só ir lá, conversar com o cara e continuar a história, tá? Bem de boa.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh, not here for a delivery. are you? Do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain, but Dr. Walker has been missing for some time.
A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. I brought him on myself to do medical and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden somewhere. Plenty of cracks on this old rock. But at this point, it's probably for the best. They were all devils. Red Devils. A UC Marine unit based here on Mars, though they were disbanded shortly after the Colony War. I presume a number of them served alongside Dr. Walker. Bonds forged in battle and all that. Dr. Walker decided to start brewing and selling his own pharmaceuticals to our customers, below cost. Something his contract expressly forbade. As such, we requested our cut of the profits and began garnishing his salary. Perhaps a little too severely, but well within legal limits. It was around then that he ran off, abandoning his duty and his unpaid accounts. That's correct. We're no longer interested in Dr. Walker's services. He did leave his post, however, with a sizable debt to his name. If you were to find him and get him to pay, the Trade Authority would be most grateful for it.
Oh, I loathe the Trade Authority. Is it absolutely necessary that we have to help them?
Why? Feeling charitable? I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but with the interest it's accrued, I believe it's something substantial. So if you were able to find him and convince him to clear his accounts, you would have our honest gratitude.
Oh, I can't believe you're helping them. What a stupid waste of time.
Wonderful. I suggest paying a visit to the Sixth Circle, what I suppose is technically a bar on the lowest level of the city. If anyone knows where Percival is, the miscreants there would. But I would urge caution. They're not a group known for their hospitality.
Uma coisa meio complicada, vamos dizer assim, dessa missão é que dependendo ali do companion, né, da pessoa que tá te acompanhando, pode ter algumas partes meio ruins ali, né, em relação à empatia do personagem, tá?
Broken spear's upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for Devil's vets and their kin. The hell you just say to me? I gotta...
Andy, sit down. You. Don't appreciate some stray wandering into my bar, harassing my patrons. Even the ones I should have cut off 2 drinks ago. Now spit out what you want, or march.
Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
Hey, enough! And you, why don't you come over here, Captain? Stray topsider wanders into my bar asking after a man like Percival Walker. Raises questions. What do you want with him? What? Someone give him the keys to a battle cruiser? Look, you can make up whatever crazy story you want, but you should forget about Percival.
You can spare us the performative stonewalling. We simply need a moment of his time, and you needn't hear from us ever again.
And you're someone I should trust, huh? Why?
I'm UC military. Retired. Can give you my gene tag code too if you'd like.
Not necessary. But look, even if I decided I was going to help you get in contact with Dr. Walker, Percival made himself scarce for a reason. His debt to the Trade Authority. But if someone resolved that debt, well, Percival wouldn't have to hide anymore. Can bet that person would make a friend out of Percival, and the rest of us devils. And I'm always inclined to help a friend. Red Devils were the meanest Marine unit the UC Navy ever had. Couldn't get in if you hadn't done at least one stint as a Martian Dusty. Made us tough, reliable. That's why they chose us as the handlers for the UC xenoweapons. No other unit could handle that pressure. Percival, though, he wasn't a grunt like all of us. Science officer. Made sure the monsters behaved themselves around the Devils, and didn't with everyone else. But it was those monsters that did us in. When the colony war ended and the armistice came down, everything associated with xenoweapons got shelved, Red Devils included. Now they're just a memory. Me? Nah. Infantry officer. But my grunts deployed alongside the things. Never seen anything like it, before or since. Monsters from the darkest corners of the Black, rampaging across the battlefield. Can understand why they banned them. Brutal. Armistice hurt us more than most, but... wow. Wasn't all bad that came out of that agreement. Well, most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the authority and pay him direct, if you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs.
Making that adjustment would be illegal. I don't think this is a road we should travel.
And, one soldier to another. Sidonia's full of old utility tunnels and crawl spaces. Wouldn't be surprised if there was one that let out right into the authority storeroom. Say, with an entrance behind the bar at the Broken Spear. Ooh, and you might need these. And I look forward to hearing the good news.
Psst, hey, you. Maybe Vanguard? Come here. Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker? Oh, no, I mean, I've got my suspicions, but look, you're planning to help Percival, right? Yeah, sure. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and we've been working on some projects in the deep mines. At least when he wasn't slaving away at his Trade Authority contract. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful and profitable. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle. No. Well, yes, but the medical kind. I'd help him make whatever the city was running low on that month, and we'd sell it to the miners for cheap. But the Trade Authority got wind and wanted their cut. And then some. It's mostly iron and about 3 centuries of human water runoff, though only Percival would be able to tell you all the trace elements and whatnot. But it builds up around human settlements, and something about the Martian soil changes it, makes it into something new. And we think we found a use for it. Oh, I'm Cambridge. I was Percival's assistant. Well, apprentice, really. Couldn't work in the mines anymore, so he gave me a job helping with some of his side projects. Knows experiments inside and out, and I know this one was gonna be big. Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started setting up shop.
Oh dear. I believe I see where this is leading.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mines again. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep on an inflated spacesuit anymore. Biggest employer on Mars has always been Deimos Star Yards. After the Colony War, armistice meant they needed a lot fewer warships. Fewer ships meant fewer minerals. That meant a lot of folks scrounging for work around here. A bunch of parasites and cutthroats. They're folks from the fringes of space, willing to put down anyone who tries to move in on what they've decided is theirs, even when it ain't. Strange this group would pick Mars as a new home. Sure, we're not downtown New Atlantis, but there are places where they'd be bothered less than here. My guess is the Authority tipped them off when they heard we were working down there, and cut off what they thought was the competition, you know? Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far, shouldn't even need to hop back in your ship. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should get the message across to the rest of them to buzz off. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel and I can walk you through finishing the research.
Beleza, pessoal, então nessa parte aqui a gente tem opções, vamos dizer assim, certo? Por quê? A gente vai ter um método que pode ser um pouco mais rápido, como um método que pode ser um pouco mais demorado também. Eu vou mostrar ambos, por isso que o vídeo até vai ficar bem maior. E o critério de como vocês vão terminar essa missão aqui é de vocês também, né? E a gente vai explicando com calma aí. Uma das opções que a gente tem ali dessa missão é você hackear o terminal lá da autoridade comercial, certo? Sendo que dessa forma a gente vai só alterar ali o valor da dívida do cara. E aí você voltaria lá, mano, pagava a dívida e acabou. Mano, tranquilo. É um método até um pouco mais rápido do que o padrão, certo? Por esse motivo eu vou mostrar ele primeiro aqui pra vocês. Beleza, agora a gente vai acessar ali então o computador, tá? E fazer essa alteração, tá? No caso aqui é como eu disse, dependendo ali, né, de quem vai estar acompanhando você na missão, pode dar esses pequenos BOs aí, porque a Sarah ali você já deu pra ver que ela tem umas falas, né, pra nos ajudar ali nos diálogos. O detalhe maior é que ela perde um pouco de empatia, porque querendo ou não, não é algo, né, legal da gente fazer, entendeu? Então nesse requisito aí a gente perde um pouco, mas ela também ao mesmo tempo ajuda. Mas beleza, então assim, alterando a dívida do cara, o correto agora seria só a gente voltar lá, completar a missão e seguir com a história, tá?
Yeah? Not something you want to say too loud now, but good work. Here, go dig our man out of his pit.
Was there something else? I don't recall the exact figure off the top of my head, but with the interest it's accrued, it's something substantial. If you're feeling charitable, I'd be happy to look it up for you. Do you now? Very well. Let me take a look at his... that's not the number I remember. Headquarters must have felt sorry for the old man. Here, his current balance. I expect this won't be a great hardship for you. It cleared. Wonderful. Dr. Walker's death is officially no longer our problem. You have my thanks. Oh, and if you do find him, please let Percival know I'm eagerly looking forward to never working with him again.
O segundo método pra gente completar essa missão é indo lá pra localização que o cara ali praticamente mandou a gente ir, né? Certo? E também, né, fazer a exploração da área lá, tá? O detalhe maior é que esse método aqui, vamos dizer que a gente vai receber uma leve grana a mais, só que também o tempo que a gente vai perder vai ser maior, tá? Porque no caso, essa área que o cara tá mandando a gente, praticamente é a mesma área que a gente vai precisar encontrar o cara depois. A diferença aqui é que, mano, a gente já vai matar todo mundo nesse meio tempo aqui e depois, né, na hora que for procurar o cara, você não vai precisar matar todo mundo de novo. Mas o tempo perdido ainda, né, é um vai e volta. Então você vai e depois vai ter que voltar aqui. Mas, né, mano, o critério é teu. Não temos aí algo tão complicado assim não. E claramente aproveitando aqui essa parte, né, de porra, tô vindo nessa localização, você já faz a exploração dela, pega tudo ali também, pelo menos uma vez, porque aí depois você só vem caminhando ali rapidão e já encontra o cientista lá diretão e segue o baile, né? É o que dá pra dizer. Claramente eu vou ir dando alguns cortes aqui, né, porque, mano, querendo ou não, é algo de exploração, recurso, então os itens ali mesmo, a gente não necessariamente precisa ficar pegando tudo, ou o que vai vir é aleatório. Então, mano, é uma missão de exploração, tá? E tem áreas que vão ser iguais a essa daqui também, tem esse detalhe aí. E beleza, já matamos todo mundo, vamos dar uma geralzinha aqui na área de fora, né? Porque a gente vai ter que entrar lá nas minas abandonadas pra matar ali o líder deles e fazer o esquema que o cara pediu ali também, né? Na missão. Beleza, né? Então a gente vai entrando ali pra área de exploração, certo? E bora lá. É uma mina abandonada, a gente não vai ter muitos problemas, né? Além dos siderais ali pra enfrentar também no rolê, né? Tem esse detalhe.
These access stairs lead deeper into the mines. I hope we remember the way back to the surface.
Como padrão, eu vou ir dando uma olhadinha com calma em tudo ali, bem de boa também, pra ver a situação. Vai demorar um pouco porque, né, a gente tem alguns inimigos ali um pouco mais fortes também, né? Vem tudo misturado basicamente, vem uns 14, uns 8, 20, 7, 8, 90, é difícil. E acertar de longe sem mira também é um pouquinho complicado, né, campeão? Beleza. Analisando a situação com calma, bem de boa, sem pressa. Eu não vou sair à toa aqui também pra morrer fácil ali, igual idiota. Vamos eliminar os inimigos primeiro. Aí eu dou uma olhadinha na área ali, vou ir dando uns cortezinhos só mostrando o que eu acabei encontrando, tá? Porque às vezes vale a pena, às vezes não vale a pena também, tem esse detalhe. Só sei que tá meio foda de acertar daqui. Aê. Cadê o outro? Pronto. Acho que eliminamos os inimigos daqui. Vamos dar uma geralzinha e continuar. Beleza, né? Aí como padrão, a gente acabou encontrando uma porta que tinha uma tranca. Dentro dela tinha esse baú aqui também que eu já aproveitei, abri ali e peguei as recompensas, né? Como padrão eu vou ir dando uns cortes pra vocês e agilizando ali o processo, só mostrando aí, né? O que eu acabei encontrando nessa área, porque eu já matei os inimigos daqui, então, né, mano? É só dar aquela geralzinha ali ao redor e já era, basicamente, tá? De resto não tinha mais nada, passei nos corpos dos inimigos ali também, fui pegando ali munição e essas coisas, porque munição não pesa, então é sempre interessante manter a maior quantidade possível dentro do teu personagem ali, né? Já que não tem peso mesmo, não faz diferença pra nós. De resto, seguimos em frente ali, então, com a nossa exploração pra próxima parte, que terá mais inimigos ali também, né? Não tem muito o que fazer.
Living quarters. I can't imagine having to live almost every waking moment underground.
E bora ir descendo, porque querendo ou não, é uma área bem grande, tá? Bem grande. E mais inimigo pra enfrentar ali, ó.
Get down.
Ai, ai, ai. Eita. Caramba. Aê, morreu.
I'm gonna go down. Not gonna last much longer.
Beleza, vamos com calma, tranquilidade. Sem pressa. Matar os inimigos primeiro. Porque aí, dessa forma, a gente vai ter que dar essa geral aqui de novo. E já deu pra ver que é uns alojamentos ali. Então, né, mano, já dá pra reparar muito bem que vai levar um tempinho, porque deve ter coisa ali pra gente abrir, analisar a situação também. Então a mesma coisa, eu vou ir dando uns cortes, porque querendo ou não, depois de matar os inimigos eu vou perder um pouquinho de tempo aqui. Parece aí o filho da mãe. Vai. Deixa eu levantar a Sarah aqui. Agora é os caras lá de cima, né? Se eu não tô enganado. Ah não, tem um ali embaixo ainda. Vai. Ah não, já foi. Beleza, tem mais ninguém não. Bom, vamos dar uma geralzinha aqui, passar nos corpos, pegar as coisas pra gente continuar com a nossa exploração também. Beleza, aí nessa parte a gente começou a entrar ali nos alojamentos aqui também. E claramente ir procurando pelos itens, né? Eu acabei encontrando aí uma arma corpo a corpo ali também, lendária. Bem interessante, então eu peguei pra levar. Claramente eu não vou ir colocando tudo que eu saí abrindo de armário ali e essas coisas, porque, né? A maioria das coisas que vocês vão encontrar é basicamente nada de bom, tá? Então um monte de armário que eu abri ali não tinha porra nenhuma pra nós levar. Mano, eu já saio cortando tudo aqui pra economizar um tempo de vídeo aí. Porque se eu for deixar tudo que eu olho e exploro ali no vídeo e, mano, e não tem nada, meu amigo, esse vídeo aqui com certeza ia bater 1h40 ali, velho. Mas é fácil. Por isso que eu só deixo porque, né, mano, é coisa ali que não vale a pena. Eu acabei encontrando um item de contrabando. Eu vou levar porque eu posso já voltar na autoridade comercial e vender, certo? Sem sair dele ou passar por scanner. Acabei encontrando uma revistinha de bônus ali também, que é permanente. Isso daí é uma coisa bem legal, então vale a pena. A gente encontra, o personagem vai querendo ou não, vai ficando mais forte, né? E aí depois de dar uma olhadinha e uma geralzinha, filha da puta, vai. Aí depois de dar aquela geralzinha ali, bom, padrão, a gente, né, segue em frente com a exploração aqui e com a gameplay também. Porque a gente ainda tem inimigos pra enfrentar. Não tem muito o que fazer. Vamos seguindo em frente pra eliminar todos eles ali. Porque querendo ou não, a gente vai ter que eliminar de uma forma ou de outra, tá? Pelo fato de que o cara, ele também tá aqui dentro numa porta selada. Então, tipo, pra gente chegar até ele, ia ter que matar os siderais de qualquer forma. Então, tipo, essa segunda opção meio que, né? é um adianto ali também. Não tem muito o que fazer. Meu amigo. 94. Mito sideral. Rapaz, o que tá acontecendo ali? Ixi, o cara tá com lança-granada, mano. Olha isso. Ó como que é quando você encontra um inimigo de lança-granada. O BO que é enfrentar isso daí, tá? O bagulho sai explodindo as coisas, fica um saco. O mapa fica, mano, tá ligado? Tremendo. Eu acho que o áudio do bagulho bugou, porque ele não tá nem atirando mais, ó. E ó o áudio bugado. Com certeza o áudio bugou por causa do bagulho. Ó, arma boa de precisão também, hein? Puta merda. Tô no meio do cara, ela tá errando o bagulho. Vai, filho, levanta aí. Não, vai tomando bala mesmo, foda-se. Matou ele é o que importa. Ele é o mais problemático daqui. Aí, esse é foda também, Sarah. Porra. Foi? Foi. Beleza, tranquilo. Tudo tranquilo até o momento? É, pelo jeito tamo de boa. Ó, o áudio bugou mesmo. Tá bugadaço. Eita, fui carregar. Já era. Tem mais inimigo ainda, né? Mas tá pra lá. Beleza, vamos dar uma geralzinha aqui por enquanto e seguir ali pelo caminho. Aí beleza, né? A gente vai dando uma olhada com calma em tudo aqui também, né? Claramente não tinha muita coisa ali pra pegar, então bem de boa. A gente já está na parte final aqui também dessa exploração aqui, tá? Pode ver que o objetivo tá bem perto ali, certo? Que é fazer o esquema do cara lá. Tem apenas mais alguns inimigos ali pra gente enfrentar nesse caso aqui. É, os caras aparecem agora tudo com arma de efeito, mano. E arma de efeito é uma bosta, tá ligado? Pra você lutar ali. Por mais que o 7 do Estelar seja forte, não é tanto assim não, no muito difícil ali. Vou ter que ir pra cima mesmo, porque o bagulho tá muito longe. Aí os caras ficam, né, irritando. Vai, um já foi. Tem dois ali, porque matou os dois, mano. Já era, tá ligado? Já acaba com os inimigos aqui dentro e a gente consegue prosseguir com os esquemas tudo direitinho ali. É isso, vai carregar no meio do bagulho mesmo. E é isso aí. Acabou os inimigos, vamos dar uma geral e seguir com a missão. Acabei encontrando ali também, ó, mais um item de contrabando. Depois eu passo e vendo lá na autoridade comercial. E vamos por objetivo ali continuar a história.
Hello? Well, took care of the spacers, huh? Good. Now to finish off the research, you're gonna need to collect a sample of hematite to run through the thresher. Grab a laser cutter and head back to the chamber where you came in. Once you've got a sample, Thresher's the big machine in the next room. Passcode to start it is Ares 2330. Take care of all that, and we'll have Percival's name cleared in no time.
Beleza, então o cara já explicou pra gente ali o nosso objetivo, né? Que é minerar um item ali, processar ele e levar pro cara, né? Basicamente é isso. Mas por enquanto, né, eu estou mostrando aí, porque eu acabei encontrando mais algumas coisinhas ali pra gente ir pegando e levando embora também, certo? Aí o minério tá marcado no mapa, pegou ele, só levar lá pra máquina, que também tá marcada no mapa, colocou, ela vai fazer ali automaticamente o processo e quando ela terminar, a gente pega e conversa com o cara novamente, tá? Uma coisa bem de boa de fazer. Prontinho, só coletar e voltar lá pra avisar pro cara.
All set? Good. You can take the elevator in that room back to the surface. There should be a key stashed in the thresher room, if the spacers didn't make off with it. I'll be waiting at the circle.
Beleza, a gente pega aqui então o cartão em cima da máquina, vai pro elevador e volta lá pra cidade de Sidônia.
You've got the slate. Let me see. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner way more efficient. This formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever Percival owes. Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more efficient, higher yield, synergy, you know, all that business crap. And that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival's debt. You good at doing pitches and stuff like that? Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, and here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever want to try maximizing your own industrial output. Oh, use that if you can. Good luck.
Was there something else? I'm never one to turn away an opportunity. But I'd be curious what you think you've uncovered in the Martian market that others have missed.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater. Well, I'm not surprised no one has proposed something like this before.
And exactly what does this new drug of yours do? An interesting proposal, if your data pans out. But where's this hematite coming from? The active mines would be too expensive to retool. The deep mines could be an option, but they're full of spacers, or so I've heard. Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool, and the sort of utility every mining firm in Sidonia would be clamoring to get their hands on. We could contract out all the actual lab work, bring on one of the hungrier mining concerns for materials, the licensing fees alone. And think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine, reopened thanks to the Martian Trade Authority. Very interesting indeed. And what do you want for the rights to this drug? Dr. Walker's dead? That's it? Consider it wiped. Well, it seems we have a deal then. And here, a finder's fee from the Authority. A perfectly reasonable amount for a discovery with this sort of potential. Wouldn't want you feeling shortchanged down the road. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Captain.
E esses são os dois métodos pra gente prosseguir com a missão.
It's done, eh? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit, but we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines. Was also going to warn you about spacers down there, but it sounds like you might have already tossed those dregs. Here, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
Então assim, o método que você vai escolher para chegar nessa parte da missão é teu critério. Fora que ainda tem a terceira opção, que é você mesmo pagar a dívida do cara, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí. Porém, né, mano? Eu não mostrei ali porque é de você pagar e se você quiser, pague por si só, né? Porque é um terceiro método que seria até que mais rápido, mas ao mesmo tempo, né? Não importa muito. E aí a gente vai lá agora para aquela porta que está fechada, porque a gente já tem o acesso a ela agora, certo? Para encontrar ali o cientista. Aqui a gente não vai ter muita exploração não, nem nada desse tipo, tá? É praticamente seguir em frente até onde o cara tá lá e acabou. passando ali pelos corredores e já era, mano. Não vai ter inimigo, não vai ter desafio, nem nada. No máximo, você vai ter que fazer uns pulozinhos aí com a mochila jato pra atravessar umas áreas mais rápido ali. Mas fora isso, bem de boa pra encontrar ele, tá? Aí a gente chega nessa área grandona aqui, ó, que é uma área ali de mineração, certo? Aí eu já fiz merda aqui, mas, né? Não tem muita gravidade aqui o planeta de Marte, então a gente aproveita ali e continua indo em frente. Eu vou tentar passar mais rapidão aqui. Não tem muita coisa aí pra ficar olhando, não. Acabei de deixar um baú pra trás ali, mas é aquilo, mano. O jogo é tão grande que não faz nem diferença mais se você deixar alguma coisa pra trás. E aqui, ó, é o laboratório do cara, né, mano? Que era a base lá também, né? Daquela antiga frota da UC. Então eu vou passando por aqui rapidão. Vamos conversar com o cientista ali pra continuar a história. Porque a gente também já tá no finalzinho dessa missão aqui.
So you must be the one who got me out of the red with the trade authority. Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Adrian sent you. She's... Did she look okay? A terramorph? She's fortunate to be alive at all. Hope you two had plenty of backup. So what's this she had you bring all the way down here after putting you in harm's way? Adrian said that, huh? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Managed to, negotiate it down to something more reasonable. Good to see someone give the trade authority a bit of their own medicine. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we?
All right. Just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait. Where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate.
Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
She was disconcertingly correct. Trying little habit of Adrian's. Which is why, if you wanted to have your film crew jump out and yell surprise, I wouldn't be saddened in the least. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was. An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put.
What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. Music to my ears. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going. Hadrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back. Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
Makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. Well, that's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on 2 conditions. 1, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Xeno-Warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Varun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Beleza, pessoal, nessa parte aqui então a gente encerra mais uma missão. Precisamos voltar lá pra Nova Atlântida, na UC, certo? E continuar com a missão. Se gostou, deixa o like, se inscreva no canal. Valeu, falou!